Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, it is the second pre-season race this week for RRF1 and for the newly formed Tuesday division. We're just waiting for the last few stragglers to get into the lobby, and we'll be getting underway for the French Grand Prix at the Paul Ricard circuit in Le Castellet. Splits opinion, this track, of course, it is a bit like Marmite. You either love it or you hate it. It's not an in-the-middle track. I personally not a fan of this track, although I did quite enjoy last night's Sweatfest. For anyone that didn't watch it, please go and watch the Darkmark stream. Throw them a follow because it was a brilliant stream, brilliant race to be involved in. And it's going to certainly be, as I mentioned, an absolute Sweatfest going forward, that Monday night division. But we're not here for Monday nights. We're not here for the sweaty men. Well, we're never here for sweaty men. That's an awkward thing to say. We are here for the new Tuesday division. A few faces we didn't see last week in China. And a few faces who we did see who had some good races, different fortunes, and some not so great races. So we'll see how they get on tonight in France, as it is the final chance they've got to hone their skills, get off the cobwebs, get rid of the ring rust before Bahrain, the first race of the season next week, as RF1 returns to competitive action. We're going to take a quick reminder now as to what happened last week in what was a surprising, crazy, nuts ending to the Chinese Grand Prix.
Skin Shaggy.
Skin Shaggy's going to fight it, but let me go into pause because Positively Glad is about to win the pre-season race here in China. I can't believe I'm saying it. PosGlad84 is a winner in RRF1. Racing J17 is going to take P2 on track ahead of Freeman, and Skin Shaggy has finished P3 here in RF1.
Oh
Blazing Bish gets P5 ahead of Goomba. So the two that were battling for the lead, who came together with a lap and a half to go, finished 5th and 6th. Might be Legend, great drive to get back to P7, only 2 seconds of... That's right, indeed, yo. It was victory for Poz in RRF1 when it wasn't looking likely at one point, when we had Goomba and Bish battling for the lead with the lap and a half to go. But it was Poz that came through to win the first pre-season race and put his marker down on this new Tuesday division. It's certainly going to be... he's going to be one to watch, is Mr. Poz. He does a lot of his career modes. He's consistent. He's always there or thereabouts. Very rarely gets penalties. So it's whether or not he can keep that going throughout the whole season with some very quick drivers. We have no Mike V Legend tonight, but we do have the return of Mao Ji, who was my teammate from last season in Team Papaya. So it's going to be odd for me to see him in an Alfa Romeo. Evening Lennon in the chat, and evening Woodsy. Can Poz pull off the win again? Who knows? Who knows indeed. Of course, we saw Skin Shaggy last week pull off a super drive to get off to get a pre-season race under his belt and onto the podium. Fast drivers like Bish is back to see if he can right the wrongs of China. Austin, a former rival of mine in the Williams. There's certainly plenty to go at, as we've currently got 17 drivers in the lobby. I'm not sure how many we've got, but I think it's close to a full lobby from memory. So let's have a quick nosy then. So this is where everyone's going to be driving for this upcoming season, providing there's no sort of chops and changes, which is always something that can happen, of course, with drivers who can commit and can't commit. As Lennon says, wants to forget China. Yeah, that was your first week on wheel, wasn't it, China? So hopefully France goes a little bit better. You'll see season open there in Bahrain. Obviously, we're not at Bahrain tonight. That is for next week. But that is who we have lining up in Division 2 for the upcoming season. You've got Moji and Saka, who is now known as Nasty Zavi, I believe. So I think Nasty Zavi is, or was, Saka. Might be Legend and Lennon will represent Team Alpha Tauri. Happy Hamster and Rog in the Alpine. Rog and Grip both not here tonight. They're finishing off their TIR seasons tonight before committing to a full RF1 season on Tuesdays going forward. You've got DiResta and Skin Shaggy both in the Aston Martins. You got Racing J17 and Dean Bryce in Scuderia Ferrari, hoping to bring back the glory days. Paz and Freeman in the Haas cars. We've got D. Dillon and Goomba in McLaren, though I believe D. Dillon is going to be replaced by Liam Ash from the start of the season onwards. I may be mistaken if Wadsley wants to correct me on that, but if not, then I believe Liam Ash will be the full-time McLaren driver from Bahrain onwards. We have ZX Apex and Bish as the permanent Mercedes drivers, Noodleneck and Dark Lord as the permanent Red Bull drivers, and Austin and Grit in Team Admin for Team Williams. It's certainly got some spice to it, hasn't it? It's looking like an entertaining season ahead, that is for sure. Just a reminder of the calendar ahead. It is a full 24 race calendar that we get to look forward to, and that does of course include it doesn't include Monaco. So this is what we're looking forward to. As we mentioned last week when it was me and Maka, Bahrain is where we'll start, then we go back to China, and then Imola and Portugal as your first 4 races. Redman, how you doing? Long time no speak. Mr. Redman, hope you're doing good. Hope everything's okay with you. I know you had some family matters. Missed you, man. Hope you're doing good. To get back in touch with us, me and G have been hoping you're okay. But yeah, so that's the calendar for the season ahead, as we wait for the drivers to ready up and wait for the last drivers to join in. Personal tracks for me that stand out as ones that I'm really looking forward to, that I usually look forward to. Imola, it's a beautiful track. Great history in it as well in real life. Sad history as well as great history. Then of course, looking down, Canada's always a bit of a love-hate relationship for myself. Spa, love Spa. Russia is arguably my best track, although, as Woodsy and Poz will tell you, it is also my most embarrassing moment on the game, which I had in the Sunday drive after I crashed into the pit entrance on a safety car restart. Yep, I did that. That was me. So, like I said, it's not my favourite track, Russia, but that was one moment I'd like to forget. Redman, yes, G is racing tonight. He is in Alfa Romeo tonight, so Mauji is making his return. He couldn't race last week, but he is racing tonight. Other new tracks, of course, Saudi Arabia that has produced some excellent racing across the divisions at the end of last season. And then, of course, we end, as usual, at Abu Dhabi. Brazil is another one of my favourite tracks. Suzuka, if I can finish it. So it's no Monaco, which makes me very happy. Some people love Monaco. For me, it's just a long old race of follow the leader. And in this Monday's division, I think Monaco qualifying will be incredibly important. But did you crash into said safety car? No, I did not. I just crashed into the pit entrance wall. It was fun. As the guys have now readied up, so let me get the stream up and running for you so you can see the lovely eyesore that is Paul Ricard, with all the lines and things that give people epilepsy. Right, let me get this up. Got the chat up next to me. Okay, so 9 views at the moment, so thank you all for tuning in. Let's see if we can get close to what we had last week. Last week was an incredible stream where we got up to sort of 30 plus viewers at one point, all tuning in for the brand new Tuesday division, which was unbelievable. So yeah, thank you everyone that tuned in last week and for tuning in again tonight. 17 people, so it will be full qualifying tonight. We will lose 2 drivers from Q1, unless any stragglers join in during Q1. But we will lose at least 2 drivers from Q1. Then we go into the business end of Q2, where if you get through to Q3, you will start on the tyres that you set your fastest time in Q2 on. Unless we have a wet race, of course. I don't know what the weather is. But of course, we lose 5 drivers out of Q2. And then we get into the Q3 shootout, the top 10 shootout, where all the big boys earn their money. So let's have a look. Who is going to be our first person out on track? Let me have a look. So no one is moving at the moment. But yeah, if anyone has any predictions in the chat of who they think is going to be the man on pole, Looking down at the moment, Racing J was very quick last week. He's going to want to watch out for. I'm going to stick my nose out and I'm going to go for a Racing J pole, I think, just based on what I saw last week. But who's out on track first? Alpha Tauri. So that'd be Lennon. It is. Lennon, of course, started his RF1 journey last week. Raced on wheel for the first time. And we'll be looking for a bit more luck this time out. It's a bit of an easier track than China. Tough on tyres, though. Really tough on tyres. It's whether or not if you can try to get through on the mediums, that's probably the preferred strategy. It's a one stop from the mediums to hards, I would say. You can do soft to hards. I did it last night. I went aggressive on strategy, did soft to hards, came away with a beautiful P3 behind the crazy fast Adam LB and Zero. As more G says, hold my beer. Yeah, I don't want to jinx you, G. That's the thing. I'm a notorious jinx, so I figured if I just don't mention you in any predictions, I can't be blamed if your bad luck continues. Hopefully it doesn't. But I figure if I don't predict anything for you, then nothing can go wrong. That's my thought process anyway. I'm sticking to that reasoning. Don't know if you've seen G, but Redmond's in the chat. Redmond is back. So, yeah, me, G and Redmond, of course, known each other since early BRF1 days. Early BRF1, raced in ERN, raced in this Wednesday night leaguey thing. Yeah, great to know that Redmond is doing good. And of course, G has had some issues himself, so we all have sort of personal issues in our life, but we all stick together. That's what we do. We're brothers in arms. Hashtag Team Papaya, regardless of whether he's in an Alfa Romeo. Lennon has invalidated his first attempt, so we are going to go on board with Noodle Neck. Let's have a look at what Noodle Neck can do in the Red Bull. Tricky first sector it is here in France. The car just wants to push out all the way around this right-hander. Then if you step on the gas a bit too early, around she will go. But flat out now, DRS wide open, as you can see. Look at that beautiful rear wing. It's just a shame it's a Red Bull rear wing. So into the chicane midway through the straight. Just a bit wide from the apex there, but not too bad. He's going to get a nice toe in front of him though. Been pretty solid so far, 50.8 for the first two sectors. Like I said, this is just about making sure you get through. Zero says turn 1 and 2 are killer, they really are. They can pretty much set your lap up, turn 1 and 2, because you can lose so much time through that turn 1 and 2. Like I said, the entire track just eats your tyres up, and starting on the softs, yeah, you've got to have a good setup really to start on the softs, I would say, hit round here. So Noodle Neck coming around the final corner then. But be careful on the exit. I got very squirrely on my exit around here. And he does. Yep, nice and easy indeed. Our first flying lap of the day is going to be a 1 minute 31.5. As he crosses the line, we have an Aston Martin, which will be RF1 Di Resta. Does a 32.2, but it was invalidated. We've got numerous of cars flying across the line, so we'll go with Happy Hamster. We saw Apex do a 31.5. Happy Hamster does a 31.3 to go fastest so far. Goomba close to a victory last time out after losing on the penultimate lap. He comes across the line to a 32.9. That might be a high fuel run from himself. More G coming across the line then. What's he going to do on his return after missing last week's race? He comes across the line as a 1 minute 31.6 to go P4. Very close already in Division 2, as we saw last week. ALC Hilly is one of the reserves. The reserve last week. I've been told to keep an eye on his connection tonight, as I believe he was red barred in the lobby. As Mark V54 says, pole to third, Racing J, Austin then Bish. So I get you. So that's your qualifying top three. So Racing J, Austin, and then Bish. And our ARC Hilly with a 30.5, immediately throwing the gauntlet down. What a time that was. As we go on board with, I think Austin's on an out lap, so it'll be a Red Bull. Noodle Neck. There we go. So Noodle Neck's gone again. He is quarter of a second up on his time, so this might get him ahead of Happy Hamster. And in fact it does by just over half a tenth. His teammate the Dark Lord is coming round next. What can he do as he comes across the line? He does a 32.9 for the Dark Lord. And then we have, I think it's Racing J, who invalidated his lap, so he will go again. Goomba is coming across the line next in the McLaren. And Goomba does a 32.9 on that lap, so pretty much identical to his first lap. Who have we got next? I think he's on a out lap. Oh, is Morjeek on again? No, he's coming in. He's 6 seconds down. Maybe he might have done just a lap where he holds off, builds his ERS back up, and then goes again. So 31.6 was his first time. Alpha Tauri next. Liam Ash is on an out lap. So is the Aston Martin. It may be Hilly, so let's see what Hilly is doing in the final 2 corners. Is he going to swing into the pits or keep going round? He's coming into the pits. So Austin is next. So 50.2 for the first 2 sectors. That's fairly good. That's looking like a good lap so far from Austin. Comes around the final corner in the Williams. Of course, Williams have just released their new livery for the new season. I'm not a big fan of it, if I'm being honest. But Austin comes across the line at 30.6. So Austin with a good lap time early on then. We've got a Haas coming around next, which will be Freeman. So Freeman comes across the line and does a 31 flat for Freeman to go P3 so far. Red Bull next, which will be the Dark Lord. So he's gone round again. 2 laps already on these tyres. So a few drivers just making sure they get their eye in early on by putting plenty of life into the tyres, and that's a 36.6. Racing J, I think I'm just about to miss him. Invalidated again from Racing J. And then we have More G, I think. The Welsh Wizard, of course. 2 tenths down on his time for the first 2 sectors. Is he going to come into the pits or is he just doing some laps? I think he's just getting his eye in, so he'll continue to do some laps. Plenty of fuel in the tank. And he's going to come across the line with his DRS open. So 31.7. So only losing a tenth and a half from his fastest lap, and that's now with 3 lap old softs. That's a good effort from More G. Should I be worried I've got migrating hosts at the bottom continuously? Says Hilly. Probably. Everyone's still in the lobby. I would say possibly. It might be worth, when qualifying ends, because you'll have a 5-minute break, of potentially leaving and rejoining. I don't know, if I'm being honest. I've not had that before, but I imagine if that keeps popping up, it's not a good sign. Yeah, it's never a good sign if that's coming up. Skin Shaggy is on a lap, but it's not him. DeResta, who have I just missed? Nasty Zavi goes a 30.5 to go P2. DeResta is just starting a lap. Racing J. So this time he hasn't invalidated, so let's see what Racing J can do on his 3rd attempt. And he's going to come across the line to do a 1 minute, predict 31 flat. Oh, 30.7 even quicker. So 30.7 for Racing J. That's a really good time on 3 lap old softs, because the softs do degrade very quickly around here. We have got Alpha Tauri of Lennon 2K10. Not set a lap time yet. Like I said, we will lose 2 cars from this. Maybe it'll disappear in Q2. Yeah, possibly once we load back in. If it doesn't... yeah, like I said, when I saw you, you didn't look like you were lagging anywhere from what I could see. So I'm not sure why it's coming up. Like I said, the only thing I could think of is to leave and rejoin. But then if you have got a connection issue, it's whether or not you can get back in again. So I'll leave that up to you on what you want to do to fix that. Lennon a 33.5 on his first attempt. We have the Haas of Poz on an outlap. Skin Shaggy is coming into the pits. DeResta. So let's see what DeResta can do. RRF1 DeResta, formerly known, of course, to most people as SF1 Coulthard, or Coulthard. So DeResta around the final 2 corners. What can he manage here? Just misses the apex. That's going to cost him time on the exit, but it wasn't too bad. DRS wide open for DeResta. Can he get into the 32s? He does with a 32.5 to put himself ahead of the Dark Lord and safe for now. Racing J, I would imagine, is coming back into the pits, and he is. Goomba's on an outlap, so I believe Lennon has let his teammate go. So Liam Ash, level with his time at the moment is Liam Ash. Of course, the new McLaren driver for the start of the season, representing AlphaTauri as a reserve tonight. Oh, it stopped, has it? Ah, brilliant. That's good. Party's open, Zero, if you want to jump in. That's up to you. I don't mind. I'm easy. We had Maka last week, so if we want another alien to jump in, that's it's up to yourself. Party is wide open. So yeah, Hilly, if it stopped, perfect. Hopefully it doesn't come back up for you. But like I said, you didn't look like you were lagging to me. I said I was told to watch out for you because you were red barred in the lobby. But so far it looks pretty fine. I'm sure someone will tell me if you're jumping across from France to Germany on their screen. So pause. Let's see what pause. Sorry about that. My controller's battery just died, so I had to plug it in with a wire. So literally, it was like that Monaco moment when they go on board with someone as about something good's about to happen, and then they switch off. Pause just did a 30.6. That's what we just missed. So yeah, controller just switched itself off, but plugged it in. We're all good to go again. We're all safe. Technical issues as always. Yeah, forgot new batteries. Yeah, to be fair, when I first turned it on, it said low battery, so I was supposed to put my wire in. Then I'm getting old and forgetful, so I just forgot to do it. But yeah, good lap from Pos. That'll safely see him through to the next session. Like I said, we do lose two drivers. Bish, who was on for a potential victory last time out while battling for Goomba, fell at the final hurdle with a lap and a half to go. See what he can do. Can he get himself through? At the moment, Darklord and Lennon are in the danger zone. If Bish can carry his pace through to the line, it would help if he wasn't appearing offline. I should be appearing. 1 second. I don't know how you change that. Let me send you an invite. Zero. Oh, that's okay. I don't have you on my friends list. 1 second. Zero. Find someone. It's just 0 BHR, isn't it? 0. No, not Dame 0. That would be awkward. We don't want no scouse in here. Invite to party. Okay, I've sent you an invite. Yeah, I've sent you an invite. I don't know why I'm appearing offline. I don't know how I changed that. So, yeah. So, who have we got now? So, Bish did get himself through with a 30.7. We've got 4 minutes left for the likes of the Dark Lord and Lennon to try and get themselves out. And I believe we have the one and only Zero in the chat now. Are you there, Mr. Zero?
I am here. Good evening.
There we go. Just make sure your audio is included. But we do have the man who finished second place yesterday even. Yesterday's French Grand Prix. So plenty of knowledge and experience in the comms box with me tonight. Like we had Maka last week, we have Zero this week. So keep bringing in the fast guys, don't I, to show me how it's done.
It's been a very, very long time since I've done comms. I think the last time I did comms was like back on either F1 2017 or 18. I can't remember, so I'm going to be a bit rusty when it comes to comms. But just bear with me.
Just throw in opinions whenever you want. We'll may even get you to do a hot lap. I threw Maka in at the deep end last week and just threw him in with a hot lap. I like to get the experienced guys to run through a lap.
You got me on the spot now, haven't you?
We'll find someone in Q2. I can hear myself. Are you echoing or is that the stream?
It might be my mic. Hang on, I could adjust my headset. I don't know. Let me get the stream up.
So we can battle on. Who have we got? Red Bull. I think it's the Dark Lord.
I'm in the game. Do I just press join session? Because I don't know if I. Oh, there you go, spectate. There you go.
As long as just click the spectate and you'll be in.
There we go.
Yeah, just make sure you have gone on spectating, otherwise you'll end up getting a car in the race.
God, yeah, no, that's the last thing I want to do.
Right, so we've got the Dark Lord starting lap. It's an important lap for the Dark Lord. 32.9 at the moment. Needs to find about half a second to get himself out of Q1. We've got an Alpha Tauri as well. Lennon is 2/10 up. Needs to find a good chunk of time. Actually, needs to find about a second to get himself through. But he is new to the wheel. As Mao G say, this is an ex-Redcoat at his best. In a former life, of course. My previous job, before I became an expert assist abuser on Formula One, was working in Benidorm with some young drunk people who would take me out to watch Sticky Vicky every night. And if you don't know who Sticky Vicky is, well, if you're underage, turn your ears off. If you do know who she is, I feel sorry for you like I feel sorry for myself. It was an interesting night out. So Lennon improves.
Same issue that Hilly was having, where it says everyone's retired. I think I'm spectating pods. I'm not sure. I'm spectating a Haas. I can't do anything. I've got no game sound. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I don't know what's going on.
See if it fixes it for Q2.
Yeah, I just have to wait. Yeah, Codemasters doing their thing and making our lives as hard as possible. You'd love to see it.
Dark Lord is about to get himself out. Oh, gets screwed on the exit and invalidates, and he was up enough time to get him through. Finish would have been a 32.4, which would have been enough to get the Dark Lord into Q2, but invalidates on the final corner. That is a shame for the Dark Lord. De Resta probably doesn't know that he's safe, but he is going for another lap. Maybe he's lifted off, actually. Yeah, he's 3.5 seconds down. Maybe he does know now. Freeman is on a lap. Is he pushing? I can't tell. As Chucky in the chat says, hashtag Team Papaya, the one and only, the second highest hashtag from last season. I can't remember what the highest one was, but I know it was one that Poz did. But the second highest hashtag of Team Papaya, not bad. We'll go for the highest one this time. We'll just put it on everything, even if it has nothing to do with Formula One. Even if I'm talking about what I ate for dinner, I might just throw a hashtag Team Papaya in there. Freeman then, he does a 30.9, so I don't think he's I think he'll probably on an in lap now. Dark Lord, is he gone again? No, he's invalid on this lap. De Resta is, I can't tell if he's going again. Oh, cheers Bish, cheers for the host. We're up to 17 viewers now. We're closing in on last week's PB, my personal best of 31. I think it got to 1 point from what Woodsy told me.
Definitely bringing in views for you, aren't I?
Yeah,
surely.
A lot of love for RF1, which is what we like to see. Oz in the chat says, unlucky Dark. Yeah, he would have got through. He would have got through. But he just got a wiggle on the final exit of the corner, of the final corner, sorry. And just ran over that white line, which is so easy to do here in France. I, of course, messed up my potential pole lap yesterday with something similar. Not quite as bad as that, but something similar. I believe the pole time yesterday was a 29.5. Was that right? Was it a 29.5?
I think so. I can't quite remember. I know Grezza was. I know it was Grezza on pole. No, it wasn't. It was Moomin, wasn't it? Wasn't it Moomin?
Oh yeah, Moomin got him at the end, didn't he?
Yeah. But I can't remember what his lap time was. Definitely in the 29s though.
Like a mid 29, wasn't it? So that's the benchmark, of course. That's the benchmark from the sweaty division of Mondays, which. Yeah, I've never focused so hard for a P3 finish before. It was just insane finish.
It's so intense that was. Oh my god.
Yeah. If that's what the rest of the season is going to be like, I might need to consult a psychiatrist.
Yeah, I think I might have to invest in some sweatbands and all sorts of other things.
Yeah. Start getting professional. Start wearing some sports t-shirts.
Get some gloves on. Yeah. Get them. Yeah. I use pad. I'll use it. I don't care. I'll still use gloves. Even if I'm using a pad, I'll still wear gloves. I don't care.
I don't know how you pad users do most of these tracks. I tried pad once at Mexico, and I was all over the place. I don't know how you guys are so smooth. There's someone that I race with in TIR who races pad, and he says that it's just hours of practice.
That's it. That's it. At the end of the day, yeah.
Sweats.
Yeah. I would love
to.
I do have a wheel set up, but because where I live, well, in my house, I'm in a box room, so I've got literally no space. at all. It's literally just bed, TV, that's it. So
God.
I would love to. I do have actually got a play seat in the corner of my room. It's just gaining dust, and I would love to get that working, but it's just too much of a hassle moving my TV and just basically rearranging my entire room just for like 1 or 2 races. It's a nightmare.
Yeah, hassle. We don't need hassle. So yeah, as you can see, Dark Lord and Lennon are the 2 that drop out of Q1. So we're down to 15, and this is, as I mentioned before, most of you will know the rules in Formula 1 by now, and if you don't, where have you been for the last 7-8 years? Q2, of course, you will start the race on the tyres you set your fastest time on if you get through to the top 10. I haven't had a weather report yet. I'm sure these guys will be hoping it's nice and sunny. So if it is a dry race, then they will be starting the race on whatever tyres the top 10 qualify on. Right, who have we got? So a few people selecting mediums already. It is probably the smart choice now. We're into full qualifying. We had a few different strategies yesterday, of course, with us doing short qualifying with the lower numbers because of the day of love. As Morgie says, sunny for the race. And pause. Hey, Massey. Hey, how's it going, Mr. Chinese winner? Pause, Mr. Looking into it. Looking into the Chinese win. Of course, everyone who wins a race deserves it, of course. We can't say that Paz doesn't deserve it, although I'm sure Bish and Goomba feel differently.
Just going to restart my game, see if that, because it's still doing the same thing, so I'm just going to restart it and see what happens.
Yep, let me know when you're back in. I'll drop you another invite. I don't know why I'm showing offline.
No, I see how it is. It's fine. Making my life difficult for no reason.
Okay, so out on a lap at the moment we have ARC Hilly, who's going to be our first person round. Morgie saying that I'm posh for eating papaya for my dinner. I would never eat papaya. That's harmful to papayas. That's cruelty against papaya. Well, I wouldn't eat a papaya for breakfast. Couldn't do that to myself. Yeah, sunny for the race, and Redmond says it's nice and Jimmy Savile. Oh, it's good to have you back, Redmond. ALC Hilly on his lap, so he's gone for the medium compound of tyre. So we'll see. Medium time wise, I think from memory, most guys were in the 31s from yesterday, who set their time on the mediums. I think we had Adam, who was the fastest on the mediums with a 31 flat, and that was just an insane time that we saw on the medium tyres. So we'll see what these guys can do. I think I did a 31.8 or 0.9. High 31 anyway. So these guys are going to be looking for probably high 31s, mid 31s if you can get there, or into mid 32s as what would be a fast medium time to get themselves through. And then will some people jump out on the softs to try and push these up? And that's really wide from Hilly, but he manages to get away with it. Let's see how much speed he was able to carry through. And invalidated on his first medium run. I know that feeling from yesterday as well. Who have we got next? It is Team Papaya. Goomba has gone for the soft tyre. So this, of course, is the strategy I went with yesterday. Soft to hard. You probably want to avoid a two-stop, in all honesty, based on what I saw yesterday, with a few of the drivers who were up front unable to get the time back in the race. And with then DRS wide open, headed towards that chicane in the middle of the straight. Sort of ruins that straight a little bit, the chicane, but you can take a lot of curve and carry speed through if you have a good enough setup to avoid spinning the rears up on exit, which he looks like he does. Goomba looked very quick last week. It's a dark horse, of course, for the championship from what we saw of pace-wise. Soft to hard is the best strat, says Mark V. It certainly worked for me. I did about 8 or 9 laps on the softs and then went on to the hards, but I just didn't have the pace of the front two. I think Maka would have beaten me if he hadn't have had a wing change, in all honesty. I can't remember the strategy he did, but I know he had to pit earlier than he wanted to.
Yeah, I think he went for the same strategy that myself and I think Adam went for as well, medium to hard. But
okay.
I think he had a little instant, had to completely change his strategy.
Yeah. You guys did medium hard, didn't you? Which was seemed like the because you were able to carry the medium pace, it seemed, throughout the life of the tyre, which was quite frustrating for me to watch you and Adam still come out ahead of me.
Yeah, it was very hard though. the medium tyres feel actually really good once they've warmed up and wore in a bit. They feel really good actually, probably just as good as the softs, if not better, in my opinion, in the race. And the hards as well. The hards are just what the hards are like. They're just
meh. That's the best way of describing them.
Yeah, just meh. Yeah, they're just.
They weren't great, but they just lasted. They never really changed up until the last couple of laps when they were overheating for me. And the last 2 laps I really struggled with them. But apart from that, they felt pretty much the same throughout the whole stint, from the first lap to the 14th lap or whatever it was. Austin fastest at the moment with a 31.8. I said if we can get some guys into the 31s and the mediums, they will be safe on that medium tyre run. That's a really solid time from Austin early on the mediums. We've got the Haas drivers coming through. They're on out laps, and then we have Goomba will probably be coming into the pits. He's invalidated anyway. Only managed a 34.8 on his soft run, so either a mistake or he's just getting a time on the board.
Racing J goes fastest as well. 31.40.
That's a cracking time from Racing J. That would have challenged. That would be challenging the top guys in Monday. That's a great time from Racing J. That has certainly done the gauntlet down. Might be Legend, who isn't here tonight, will be looking at that thinking, I've got some work to do.
Yeah.
This isn't going to be all my division. But then we saw that last week. Mike didn't have it all his own way, and he was my early season favourite for the Tuesday division. And it didn't go to plan. Away this week, but I'm sure he'll be back for Bahrain. My fellow Schumacher fan. Who have we got next? Austin has gone again and is 3/10 up. This could be a mid 31 for Austin. It would definitely cement his place in Q3, you'd think. Across the line he comes then, and it is a 31.5. Good time from Austin. Some really good medium tyres from Racing J, medium runs, from Racing J and Austin. Who is next? Mercedes. An outlap. I think it might be Freeman. No.
Pos.
There we go.
Yeah.
So Pos then, winner last week. What can he do here in France? Final 2 corners to go. He's gone for the mediums as well, like most have. Happy Hamster has put the soft tyres on in the pits, so it looks like he is going to be going again. What can Pos do? Can he get his Haas into the 31s? That is the safe zone for the medium tyre runners. And a 31.7, good time from Pos. Finding lots of time on the medium tyres are these guys at the moment.
Seems like the medium tyres seem to be quite a good qualifying tyre, so it's even at the moment. Obviously, you have to see if anyone else goes out on the softs.
Yeah, definitely.
So I know a lot
of mistakes from someone.
Who's that? Let's have a look.
I think De Resta might have had a bit of a moment on his lap because he went yellow flag and is now behind a blue dot. I can't wait until. Apparently, the rumour is for Alpine that they're going to have a half and half car when they release theirs, which will be half Alpine blue, half BWT pink. So fingers crossed, Cody's given them a pink dot just so we can differentiate between the cars.
It's going to be a bit of an eyesore in my opinion, but it is.
Yeah, it's not going to look nice, is it? Blue and pink.
Oof, yeah, no, I don't think so.
Just either go all pink or stay blue with a little BWT logo. Not
yeah, exactly.
Half.
Yeah.
You've got to do it with colours that go, like McLaren's old early 90s car of the red and white and 80s car. That's a good combination of doing 2 different colours, but.
Yeah, well, it's all used as sponsoring back then, like tobacco sponsoring. So, can't do that nowadays, which is a shame. But you never know, it might come back.
We've got more G on a lap. Can he get his car into the 31s? He does with a 31.5. Good lap from More G, showing some good pace on the medium tyres. Like you said, the medium tyre almost looking like a better qualifying tyre. We've seen that in real life Formula 1 with in some races where the medium tyre is sometimes actually a bit better to qualify on. And so far, some of these guys have gone quicker than they did in Q1. So good time early on from the Alpha driver. Not that I'm biased or not, but come on, More G. Former hashtag Team Papaya. Right, who've we got? Aston Martin. Is that Skin Shaggy starting a lap?
Yes, indeed.
Nasty Xavi is on an out lap. De Resta has done 3 laps and invalidated. Bish, what's Bish doing? Bish is 2.8 down. Find someone. Noodle Neck, there we go. So Red Bull man coming through the chicane in the middle of that straight. Yellow flag, that'll just be more G slowing down, I imagine. Again,
keep an eye on.
Sorry, go on.
I was going to say I'm going to keep an eye on Shaggy because he's on the lap on the softs, and he's definitely a dark horse. Shaggy. He's a very quick driver in his own respect, and well, you and I both know he does love to defend his position, so he's definitely one to look out for in this race, I'd say.
Oh yeah, I was so pleased from last week in China. It was brilliant to commentate on
it was absolutely brilliant. Podium.
Okay, Noodle Neck then round the final two corners in the Red Bull. Can he drag that Red Bull into the top 10? He's gone for the soft compounder tyre, so you'd think he should have the pace to get that car through. He's going to come across the line now. What can he manage for Team Red Bull? It is a 31 flat to go fastest overall so far. We've got Goomba, who's gone again on the medium compound of tyres this time. Can he get the McLaren into the top 10? He was quick last week and is a 32.1 to go P8. Might not be safe. You were on with Skin Shaggy, who's invalidated, but he's going again on the same set of softs.
He's lifted off.
Oh, he's lifted off actually, yeah. Who have we got next then? Xavi, so formerly known as Saka, formerly known as Foden. Probably had another name before that, Nasty Neres, I think. Now he's Nasty Xavi. Can't keep up with him. But on track, he does a 31.2 to go, almost identical to Racing J with an 8,000th of a second. And Alfa Romeo looking quick here in France with third and fourth so far. Skin Shaggy, of course, slowed down for his next lap as he invalidated again. Noodle Neck. Nope. Is Goomba going again? Let's have a look.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think he is going for another lap. He's 2/10 up in the second sector alone.
Yeah, he needs to find 4/10 really to get himself ahead of Bish, and that would be realistically safe then. And like I said, ideally you want to be getting into the 31s on the mediums to look at being safe, but even the 31.7 might not be safe now. Very quick, very tight division.
Yeah, because from 11th all the way down, they're all on softs, so they're pretty good to try and push to get into Q3.
But here comes Goomba across the line. Can he get himself ahead of Bish? Because that would be safe if he could do.
Oh, he runs out of you on the line.
Oh, Goomba.
Gutting.
Oh, he would have done it as well.
He would have.
He still improved slightly.
Oh, he's probably kicking himself after that one.
Yeah, now, who have we got? So we've got two guys in the pits, a few guys coming out on soft tyres now, so Goomba and ZX Apex both are going to be at risk. I can't see how long is left in qualifying, because they've got a yellow flag. Nasty Zabi, did he go again? No, he didn't.
4.5 minutes to go, so if...
he could get round again and put the softs on.
I was going to say, Goomba could, if he doesn't want to, you know, bank on getting through, he could if he has time. Well, he has to be very quick about it and quickly get on the softs just to get through, but then again, that will probably ruin his race for him, because the softs just, well, you and I both know the softs just suck around here in the race. They don't last at all.
No, they don't. I mean, I was a sitting duck for you and Adam when my softs started to go yesterday. It was just, you just lose all traction. That was the worst thing. The turning wasn't too bad, but it's getting out of the corners, there's just nothing. You know, it's just... Yeah,
the traction just, just constantly spinning up there.
Yeah. So, and then of course when you do get past me, I immediately lose half a second at the exit of a corner. And that goes the attempt of staying in DRS. But actually, if I if we just... Oh, my screen's just gone off somebody.
The Resta has just, well, he's just about to start a lap and he's already invalidated it, so...
Oh, it's a shame for the Resta, but that does mean Goomba and Apex are still safe as it stands. Liam Ash is on a lap. Who else is on a lap? It's only the Resta who's invalidated and Liam Ash, I think. So we'll stay with Liam Ash for now then. We will get a 0 hot lap in Q3. We'll pick someone in Q3 and 0 can take us on a lap. Paul Ricard will throw him straight into the deep end. But we'll go with Liam Ash at the moment. He's coming into the final sector any second now. See what lap time he can manage. He does a 50.9 through the first two sets. It's a quick time so far, looking like he's already way up on his time.
Yeah, he's purple sector 2, so he looking like Could be a good lap from Liam.
Yeah, they should easily get him through. So ZX Apex is going to get knocked out, providing Liam Ash can keep it within bounds, which is easier said than done in France.
Especially in the last sector.
Yes. Especially the last corner, which then gives you a this and next lap invalidation, which just makes you want to throw your controller or smash your wheel as the frustration continues. As Morgy says,
that a few times.
Yeah, cracking lap G to get yourself through there. And a 31.3 for Liam Ash puts himself P4 on the soft tyres.
It's a good lap.
Nope. Happy
Hamster is going for another one.
Happy Hamster, another quick driver on his day. Happy Hamster.
He's a second up. He's a second up already, so
he needs to
just
find
keep it
another
clean.
10th, and that will put him through. So final corner then for Happy Hamster. The Alpine man, can he get himself through? Comes across the line. You'd like to think on a soft tyre he will get himself through, and does a 30.9 to go fastest. A brilliant final sector from Happy
He's definitely
Hamster.
through.
First man into the 30s, a 10th quicker than Noodleneck. And that only leaves Skin Shaggy, who I think has given up. Yeah, he's invalidated on his laps. So Skin Shaggy, who produced heroics with a P3 in China last week, unfortunately will go out as P15 for qualifying. But of course this is just qualifying and the race is something else entirely. Liam Ash, did he go again? He doesn't need to. It looks like he's pushing.
I was going to say, you should really slow down because those tyres, you don't want to be doing any more. You don't want to put any more unnecessary wear on those tyres because otherwise, if you do, someone did like 3 laps, I think, on the softs.
Moomin did 3 push laps and then finished after the timer and still finished the lap. So then the AI would have put another lap at pace on him, so he would have had 4 fast laps on his soft tyres, and then still did about 7 or 8 laps in the race.
Oh, I don't know how he managed that.
Screaming. So,
I was going to say, like, that must be like 20% at the beginning of the race, surely.
Right, we'll do a quick rundown of qualifying in a second of Q2, and then we have the ultimate showdown, the top 10 shootout, to see who will start where in France. Of course, you do start the race on the tyres you qualified in Q2 on for the top 10. So you've got Happy Hamster, Noodleneck, and Liam Ash. Will all start the race on soft compound of tyres. Whereas Racing J, Nasty Zavi, Morgy, Austin, Freeman, Bish and Poz will all be starting on the medium compound of tyre. And if qualifying so far is anything to go by, this is going to be one to watch out for. It's bound to be a close qualifying session ahead of us. Okay, so he's for Skin Shaggy to retire, and then we will do the rundown. Again, if anyone in the chat has any predictions as to who they think is going to be on pole, we've had Mark's prediction already of a Racing J pole. Who else did he say? Let me have a look. I can't find the what he put now. Oh, that was it. He put Racing J, Austin, and then Bish as his top 3 in qualifying. So if anyone else has any different predictions, do we think someone's going to stop Racing J? We'll find out in about the next 16 minutes or so. But Happy Hamster was fastest in Q2 on the soft tyres, ahead of Noodleneck. Racing J and Nasty Zavi were 3rd and 4th on mediums, ahead of Liam Ash, who qualified on the softs. And then we saw more G, Austin, Freeman, Bish, and Poz. They will start on the mediums. They are the ones that are through to Q3. Going out in Q2, we have Goomba, who couldn't manage to get his car through after running out of fuel on the line for Team Papaya. Apex goes in 12th, Duresta was 13th, and then no time set for ARC Hilly or Skin Shaggy. So those are the 5 we lose, as the top 10 shootout is coming up next. Pity Boy says, "Come on, G, we got this." So some cheering on there from, I'm guessing, another Alfa Romeo driver. For Pity Boy 2112. I'm guessing you are. What's your gamer tag again, Pity Boy? I feel like I should know it. Okay, so you can probably get at a push. You could get 3 runs in Q3, but it's more likely 2 runs. because you'll have used your softs, especially if you did a run in Q2 with your softs. You're probably only going to get 2 proper runs in as Hilly rejoins. Hopefully he doesn't have any issues. Our first person out then is going to be Pause. So our 0 hot lap is going to be watching Positively Glad. So no jinxing.
Well, with Pause I can't promise anything.
Well, yeah. So our quality hot lap is going to be watching Pos go around in Q3. So what can Pos do? How high can he get? Qualifying did look very close from what we've seen in Q1 and Q2. Are we going to see anyone scrape into the 29s like we saw yesterday? Looking at the medium runs, so I think we could see a couple go into the 29s.
It's
but
possible.
Of course, we will wait and see. Everyone coming out then. There's only, I think, one guy that hasn't come out yet, which is Nasty Xavi. So it's a busy old track. And Pos will hope that he doesn't catch anyone going slow as he gets towards the end of his lap, as can happen at France if there's a traffic jam in the final sector.
It makes me start to wonder if the track's a bit hotter than usual, because a lot of people have seen Q2 were setting decent laps on the mediums. Like only a couple tenths slower than those who are on the soft, so it makes me wonder if the track's a little bit hotter than usual, and then the soft start to overheat a little bit maybe, and the mediums are just kind of optimal temperature. It makes you start to wonder.
Possibly, because like I said, I've seen a few medium runs go very quick indeed. So we've got Pos about to start a flying lap here in Q3, so take it away, Mr. Zero.
Alright, so we activate the RS straight away, hitting about just under 200 miles an hour going into turn 1. Bit hard to hook up there, and turn 2 also hard to hook up as well, but as long as you get a good drive, you're pretty much set for sector 1. Heading into turn 3 is a bit difficult. It depends if you can, be cheeky with the curbs, maybe catch a little bit of extra time. Same with turn 4. I can't keep up with this. Right. So, this long right hander is a bit hard as well. Just try not to understeer, and then heading into the next DRS zone. Same again, probably hitting about just over 200 miles an hour, coming up to the fateful chicane with many curbs of death, but we shall see how Pos does. Cut a little bit at the first chicane. It looks alright, looks good. Good exit, that's alright. I think it's looking good for Pos so far. Now this corner coming up now is kind of hit and miss. You can either see if you can get a little bit of extra curve, which Pos does exactly, just to gain even just a little bit. And this long right-hander, this is a killer on the soft tyres. Even on the medium tyres, this turns a killer on your left-hand tyres. I have no idea what corner we're at. We're just going to say it's a left-hander. Good to get a bit of a wider exit as well onto the well, I can't even speak English at this point. It's been so long since I've done a hot lap. Coming around the final corner, making sure those softs hook up nicely and heading into the DRS. And that is a botched hot lap with me, and that is a 30.7 by Pos. Good lap, that is. Not a bad lap.
Yeah, it looked like a very clean lap. Looks like a very Pos lap, that. Very clean, very consistent, nailing all the corners. It was exactly what we see. If you've ever watched his career mode, he sometimes gets into a zone. He's quite monotonous in the laps that he does, and I feel like that was a very Pos lap. That
I'd say it's a good lap.
30.9. Hambo, all right, you sexy pricks. You can always rely on a good Hambo comment in the chat. We missed you last night, Hambo. I believe you were under the thumb, from what I was told. I think every man was under the thumb if you weren't racing last night.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can tell last night who's either a single man or isn't whipped by their other half. Right.
Yes. Or who's married and just wants to get away from it all.
Yeah, Freeman with a 30.1. That's not bad. Nearly into 29. So I wonder if Racing J could have anything to say about that in his next run.
Yeah, so very close between the top two, just 900ths of a second between the top two drivers. I believe we have Alfa Romeo. Xavi's about to start a lap. Pos, is he going again? Nope, he's slowing down. So that is your first runs done, apart from Xavi, unless anyone did go again. Everybody's slowing down by the looks of it. Liam Ash looks like he's gone again, actually.
Oh, he's invalidated that.
Okay. Happy Hamster is about to cross the sector line, so we'll see if he's gone again. And he has indeed, because he's quarter of a second up on his time, so he'll be looking to get into the 30s, where it's very close and tightly compacted at the moment. Two drivers, Poz and Morgi, separated by just 0.04 of a second. Then Noodleneck and Liam Ash just 0.09 of a second apart. I thought it would be close in Q3, and we've got our little inter-battles going on between Poz and Morgi, Austin trying to close up to Freeman and Racing J, Noodleneck and Liam Ash, and what can Happy Hamster and Bish do? Bish at the moment not showing the pace we saw in China, but it's of course still 6 minutes to go. Happy Hamster about to come across the line.
Has he got the fuel though? That's the question.
Oh yeah, we'll soon find out. We've seen one driver run out already. And a 30.9, another driver, 0.02 of a second ahead of Noodleneck. It doesn't get much closer than that. Nasty Zavi hasn't set a lap time yet. Again, someone that we know has pace. Hasn't quite shown it yet though, but he's managed to get into Q3, which is where the business end starts and what you need to show. Just runs a little bit deep on the exit. That'll cost him a 10th. What does he do as he comes across the line? Nasty Zavi does a 30 flat.
Wow.
And I say might cost him a 10th. I think that was a potential 29 that he would have got there. So great lap time from Nasty Zavi to put his marker down. As soon as I say he's not shown his pace, he goes and obliterates the field. So good lap from Nasty Zavi. We catch up with the chat. ARC Hilly says he got a 30.5 in Q2, which was enough to get through, but got disconnected. Oh, I wonder if you got disconnected, but were still in a alternate lobby. Almost like an alternate reality. We've seen that before where people are still in a different lobby.
Yeah.
And you maybe did do that time in your lobby, but because you got disconnected from our lobby, it obviously doesn't count. So hopefully you're in the right lobby. Well, in the actual live lobby. Hambo says, what a waste of time Valentine's is. Disintegrating even get my... Okay. I should have read it all before I started reading it out.
Oh, no. Hambo, don't change, please.
Pretty sick. Yeah, I'm going to have to learn to start reading your comments before I start reading them out live on stream. Everyone else can read that themselves. I'm not reading that one out. But glad... I'm guessing instead of disintegrating, you mean didn't even. So I'm guessing you meant to put didn't even get it, wet.
Oh, I do love autocorrect. It's the best.
The fact that
When
it's
you're
now
angry.
disintegrating is worrying.
I know. Even when you're angry and you're like sending an angry text, and you're just constantly saying duck or ducking or something.
Yeah.
It's usually how it goes.
Okay, 22 views now. We're in the business end of Q3, so thanks again everyone for showing the love here in RRF1, where they are fully risen from the ashes this season with 3 divisions now, 3 full divisions. And for pre-season we have 17 drivers here tonight. Who have we got starting the first of the Flyers? I think it will be Poz. So Poz is going to be our first person to go for their second run. He's on a 30.7 at the moment. Needs to find about 4/10, so just under 4/10 if he's going to move up to Austin, and needs to about 7/10 if he's going to nick pole away from Nasty Javi. All to play for, of course, still. He's going to want to improve at least a little bit to try and fend off the likes of Morgi, Happy Hamster and Noodleneck behind, who will all be coming for that top 5 start. Qualifying fairly important early on in France, because you do end up getting stuck in a DRS train, and that's when the frustration kicks in. And occasionally we do see those late moves, which you wouldn't naturally do, but it can be frustrating in a good old French DRS train. So we'll see what Poz can do. Coming up to Sector 1. You and Adam were frustrated in our soft tyre DRS train early on.
Oh yes, that was the most annoying thing. But you just kind of got to keep your cool though. Otherwise, yeah, you don't want to end up sending a move and then ruining your race as well as someone else's.
Yeah, exactly.
It's very, very easy to do.
Yeah, the Moomin Express, as I called it in party chat, with his worn soft tyres, just carrying on, and he did really well. I was surprised. I think he had some kind of grip hack, because I don't know how those soft tyres kept going.
Yeah, they weren't Pirellis, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Wow,
at the moment is 4/10 up, so he's doing what he needs to do at the moment to get at least P4. Definitely improving. How close can he get to the front 3? That's the question. And can he keep the speed going through the final sector of this lap? Looking good for the Haasman at the moment. Feeling confident, of course, from his win in China. Of course, during the break, we will put a quick reminder of what happened, or the surprise almost in mine and Macca's voice when we commentated on Poz winning and Skin Shaggy finishing P3. No offence to them, of course, just the way the race went, it was a little bit of a surprise at the end. Good final exit there from Pos. See what he can do, comes across the line. How much more time has he found in the final sector? There's a 30.3 to put himself ahead of Austin into P4. We have Bish on an outlap. Liam Ash is coming across. He's half a second up and gets himself into P6. So everybody improving at the moment. Freeman G's is a second down though, so he may go again if he has time, which he should have. Nasty Zavi, nope. More G's on an outlap and has Happy Hamster right in his tail. Happy Hamster may want to drop off a little bit because he's just going to get understeer through the first and final sectors if he's too close to the back of the Alfa Romeo. It's also quite off-putting when someone's riding your tail on an outlap.
It is very off-putting, that is.
So who do we have next then? I believe it's the Ferrari of Racing J. So we were wondering if Racing J had an answer to Freeman, but he's 10 seconds down at the moment, so he's obviously made a mistake somewhere. We'll see if he's going to go again, which he is. Nasty Zavi's on an outlap. Noodle Neck. So Noodle Neck, 2 tenths up at the moment, and he needs 2 tenths to get himself ahead of More G at least. More G just starting his lap. So we'll see what Noodle Neck can manage. Red Bull man for this season. Coming into the final 2 corners here at Paul Ricard. Red Bull, of course, you could pick any car from the last 7 years. The design is the same. It hasn't changed. Even the new one, just looks like the yellow on the front of the nose has got a bit longer. Noodle Neck doesn't improve in the end. So unless he must have backed off in the final sector, Austin has retired in the pits. So happy with his work. Not wanting to waste another set of tyres. Bish is going to cross the line. 7 tenths up and goes P3. Finally showing his hand right at the end for Bish. We have Freeman. No, we don't. Pos comes across the line down on his time, so doesn't improve. So we have More G, who's not invalidated, still pushing. So final sector, I didn't see whether he was up on his time or not. He still has Happy Hamster hanging onto his tail. These two only separated by 1.5 at the moment. Final few corners then for the Alpha Man, formerly of Team Papaya. What can he manage as he comes around the final 2 corners here in France? Can he get his car back up ahead of Pos where he was? Or back up to Pos, should I say, as he comes across the line. Happy Hamster getting a nice toe as well. Comes across the line to a 30.8, doesn't improve in the end, so he will stay P8. Happy Hamster improves by 1/100 of a second, so he'll stay P9. Noodle Neck has invalidated. Racing J finishes P3. Nasty Zavi's on a lap, so what can he do? Can he get into the 29s? Like, yes, he can, and obliterates the field. I thought he lost some time on the last lap, and yeah, he is on it, and that is going to be it to qualify him. So we thought it would be close. 3 drivers on the 30.1s, 2 in the 30.3s, with Liam Ash just outside of it. More G, Happy Hamster, and Noodle Neck separated by just 1.5. So very close qualifying lap we expected. Nasty Zavi taking the pole, so not going on what the prediction was in the chat, which was the Racing J pole. Nasty Zavi obliterating everyone by sort of 3.5 tenths in the Alfa Romeo. So good start here in France for Alfa. Moji not improving on his lap, which is a shame for him. As Ozers in the chat says, "Come on, Noodle, son," cheering on the Red Bull man. So I'll do a quick run through of qualifying, and then we'll do a quick reminder of the how the race finished last week, and then we'll talk about France, and then hopefully at that point the race will be ready. So that is your top 10. So Nasty Zavi will start on pole with Freeman G's alongside him. Racing J will start P3 alongside Blazing Bishop. Pos will start alongside Austin, with Liam Ash in P7 ahead of More G. Happy Hamster will start P9, and Noodle Neck will start in P10. Of course, a few of these drivers will be starting on softs. Majority in the top 10 picked the mediums to qualify on. So different strategies will be interesting. Pos has put Hilly, you've got to stay out, bro. You've been out. You've been and out the lobby load. Oh, in and out the lobby loads. Yeah, ARC Hilly, if you're watching, unfortunately, it will be curtains for you. That is a shame for Hilly. But yeah, if his connection is bad, it will cause a broken lobby, and we've seen in RF1 and other leagues broken lobbies what they can cause with safety cars that never come back in, or just repeatedly stay out, or lobbies that never start. So yeah, unfortunately, Hilly, you will have to to drop out of this one. Hopefully your connection is nice and secure for next week's race, when the league starts in Bahrain, of course. Right, let me just give you all another reminder then of what happened, and the surprise almost in our voices as the Chinese Grand Prix came to its end in the last final lap last week.
Skin shaking.
Skincheck's going to fight it, but let me go into Pos, because Positively Glad is about to win the pre-season race here in China. I can't believe I'm saying it. PosGlad84 is a winner in RRF1. Racing J17 is going to take P2 on track ahead of Freeman, and Skin Shaggy has finished P3 here in RRF1. Blazing Bish gets P5 ahead of Goomba. So the two that were battling for the lead, who came together with a lap and a half to go, finished 5th and 6th. Mike V Legend, great drive to get back to P7, only 2 seconds off the back of Goomba. Yes, indeedy. It was Poz's victory in RF1 last week, taking advantage of the ultimate bottle job from Goomba and Bish. Thankfully for them, it's only pre-season. Get those bottles out early and get rid of them, dust off the cobwebs, fill those bottles back up, ready for the new season. But we're here for France, and of course alongside me tonight I have one of the quickest guys in the Monday Division 0 BHR, who came runner-up to ET Adam, or Adam LB, depending on which game tag he uses, for the new season. What's sort of your thoughts on France? What sort of, is it a track you like? Is it a track that you'd rather never see the sight of again? What's your thoughts on France?
The thing is with France, it's kind of hit and miss for me. I mean, if it's a dry race, I don't mind it at all. But it's when it's wet, I don't know what it is. It's just so hard to get into a good rhythm without spinning off, or trying to battle with someone and having to suffer with understeer because of dirty air. It's just it's 50-50 for myself personally. But I mean, it does provide very, very good races though. I mean, yesterday was a good example of that. It never fails to disappoint France, so hopefully that will kind of carry on tonight. I mean, I don't know how strategies will play out in this race, but I think it's going to be a good one between the top 5. I'd say it'll be very close.
Yeah, definitely. As far as overtaking opportunity goes, I mean, obviously you've got turn 1, but then I guess your main one is going to be sort of turn 8 into that chicane. That's probably where most people are looking to get their moves done, providing they don't get stuck in that horrible DRS train. Is that sort of where you set your moves up for, or potentially even into turn 10 we saw people going side by side?
Yeah, I mean, if you depending on the exit you get out of the chicane, you can easily get a run into turn 10. Obviously, depending if you're comfortable with who you're going side by side with. Because I mean, I made a move there last night. I can't remember who it was. I know it was an Alfa Romeo, I know that. But went side by side. I think it was Big D actually. Now that I think about it, it was me and Big D went side by side into turn 10. But yeah, it can be risky doing that. But I mean, if you're comfortable with who you're racing with, then there's you don't see why not.
Yeah, definitely. Just seen the ready up, so people have readied up and are ready to go. As Hambo says, well done, good lap, Zabi, Foden, Nastinera's indecisive bitch. So, yeah, we echo that thought. Pick a gamer tag and stick to it, damn it. And Redmond has put Carnage at turn 1. That is always a worry for me at France, because there's a few tracks on the calendar where turn 1 is what I call a pinch point. Russia is a prime example.
Yeah.
Where it draws you in to go for that move on the inside, and then it just tightens. And if you're not fully alongside, whoever's on the inside is getting spun. And if you are far enough up the inside, the car on the outside is going wide.
You can get a similar kind of thing in Brazil as well. Brazil kind of can sometimes have that effect depending on how it is.
Alex in the chat says, put my tyres are on 20%. Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Alex Morris, you're Happy Hamster, aren't you, if I'm not mistaken? Yeah, that's not ideal. I'm not going to lie. ARC Hilly says, sorry guys, don't know what's going on, my internet's decent but it's just not happening. Yeah, I think Poz already said, unfortunately you're going to have to drop out of this one, but internet. It can't be controlled. It's not your fault, mate. It won't be held against you. You won't get anything happen to you for not finishing the race. Hopefully it's all hunky dory for Bahrain next week. As Big D says to you, Zero, was a good overtake. So Big D was tipping his hat to you with the overtake as well.
It was
for that. I had to
butt clencher, that's for sure.
I had to tip my hat to Viper last week. A rival of mine from when we battled in the Sunday Drive did me on the fast left-hander in China. It was a beautiful move. And it's hard for me to say that to Viper, but it was a good move. had to hand it to him. I was like, I can't let him pass in. He just stuck it up the inside. I was like, fair play. Mark says restart your router before racing. Yeah, that's another thing you could do. You could always, before you start your race, just restart your router. It just clears any of the, is it cache or cookies or... I'm not fully up to all that kind of stuff, but it clears something.
That's
I believe that if you don't have the fastest internet, then I believe restarting it helps. But they're all lining up on the grid now. So let me get the tyres up for everyone so they can see what people have started on. And hopefully we'll get a good view from Codemasters for the start, as Xavi and Freeman G's will take us away off the start. I'll just clear the spectator menu so we can at least watch the start of the race without anything blocking the screen. Here we go. So it is.
Actually, the graphic's still on the screen. The graphic's still on the screen.
Oh shit.
All right, that's fine. I'll provide the start. It's lights out on the way we go. It's a bit botched, but Freeman gets a flying start, going past Xavi straight away, and Xavi and Racing J are side by side coming out of turn 2. I think there's a bit of carnage into turn 1. Skin Shaggy and Happy Hamster have had a little bit of a tangle, I'd say, but barring that, I think everyone's got through a-okay.
Something's happened to Austin at the back. I think he's had a moment. He's down to P15. It's a shame for Austin. Apologies for the stream. Completely forgot I had that on. Right, let me have a look. There is a Duresta and Apex. So Duresta and Apex side by side. And there's someone off in the background. Big crash for Austin.
And there's Austin.
Austin out in the background. We're going to get an early safety car here in France. It looks like we're just going to have a yellow flag.
DFC potentially.
Quite rare to get a safety car in France because the walls are so far away from the track, and it looks like Michael Massey is relaxing with his ice cream as Freeman is all over the back of Xavi, still trying to get the move done. It's a tight line. We've got more G and Goom battling as well around the same corner, but we'll go back. Dark Lord and Duresta. I think something's happened to Duresta.
Yellow flags.
Duresta is missing an M plate, so I wonder if Duresta and Austin came together. I haven't seen any other issue for Duresta, but he's missing an end plate. Austin is now out of the race. We go back up to the front because Xavi is looking ever closer at the rear end of Freeman G's. The Haasman still out in front, but having to go defensive into turn 1 as Duresta comes into the pit to get rid of that front wing.
Ooh, here we go. Here we go. Wow, and just like that.
Yep, that is it. That is the lead done. So that's the nasty Xavi into the lead of this race. Nice move there on Freeman G's. At the moment, Racing J now looks like he's going to go for a move on Freeman G's, as he's not had a particularly good exit onto the straight. And Racing J going for a move, he's going to go for the inside into the chicane. And is he going to get this move done? No, just backs out. Smart move there from Racing J. Doesn't want to make too many dives early on. Got some moves going on at the back, actually. Happy Hamster just got past Lennon, but let me go back up the front because Racing J and Freeman G's. Racing J has got the move done around turn 10, as you mentioned. If you're confident of going wheel to wheel, you can get it done. And Racing J gets the move done into turn 10. Liam Ash is on the back of Bish in the battle for P4. And just behind them, you've got Noodleneck all over the back of Pos. The battle's all up and down the field at the moment. Further back, we've also got Happy Hamster on the back of ARC Hilly. That is Hilly's AI, of course, that is currently in the game. So hopefully Happy Hamster can get that move done nice and easy. And there is your front three coming across the line, separated by less than a second. DRS will be activated on this lap.
could mean Bish might be in a bit of trouble because he's just outside DRS from Freeman, so he might be in a bit of trouble here, depending on how ERS is between him and Liam Ash. Well, it doesn't seem that Liam Ash has a bit more ERS than Bish, but we shall see going into DRS.
Yeah, Liam Ash setting up nicely. I think Freeman's going to be too far back from Racing J. They're both going to have DRS on Xavi though, but we're here with Liam Ash at the moment, so he's going to try and get a move on Bish. He's 4/10 back at the moment. Was Bish outside of DRS range? He was. So this is going to be Liam Ash's best chance initially to get the move done. The inside of Bish into the chicane. They're going to go side by side. There's a bit of contact. Did Bish turn in, or did Liam Ash just leave his nose in there? That may be one for the stewards to look at, because stewards will look at incidents in pre-season. As DeResta's gone. DeResta has gone on the exit of turn 2, and it is a VSC early on here in France. So DeResta has gone just after we saw contact between Bish and Liam Ash. And as I mentioned, stewards will look at incidents in pre-season. If you are deemed to be at fault, then you may still end up with a penalty for the first race of the season. As even though it's pre-season, we still want it to remain clean. As Redmond in the chat has put, seem to remember Goomba is quite handy around here. Yeah, well, Goomba was handy last week, but unfortunately needed the race to be about a lap and a half shorter.
He certainly wants to look out for.
So that is who's coming to the pits. So Liam Ash into the pits. Then he'll probably be changing his wing, maybe.
Yeah, he must have front wing damage of some sort.
We'll soon find out.
Although this VSC's probably helped out Noodle Neck a little bit, because those soft tyres will probably be starting to fade a little bit by now. So that VSC will probably save him a little bit, prevent a little bit of overheating.
Just a tyre change for Liam Ash. So just wanting to go for strategy and go for hard. So it's not a free pit stop, of course, but it is quick, as Racing J's got a drive-through penalty. Would you Adam believe it? That is a shame.
I think Xavi's got one. Xavi's got one as well, I think.
Yeah, there's what's going on at the front here. Oh, there's a car up in the background. Who was that in the background? I think that was Noodle Neck.
Yeah, he's got no front wing.
Noodle Neck lost it with cold tyres on the restart. Pos is now going against Nasty Xavi. And Nasty Xavi nearly losing. He's going to be under pressure from Freeman. So it's everything's changed at the start here. So Freeman and Xavi have not had a good safe VSC restart. Racing J's got a drive-through. So all of a sudden, Bish and Pos are your net leaders of the race.
Yeah.
Effectively. It's just
I was going to say, after all that, Bish has somehow ended up in second place. What a major turn of events!
It's just this is one division that you can't predict a winner until the race is finished. It's just insane. As Skin Shaggy and Noodle Neck, something's happened between them towards the back. There's a big gap though between them, so I don't know if Noodle Neck's had a bit of an issue there.
He's missing the front wing, so he's probably just trying to get out of Skin Shaggy's way. As Racing J is going for, I'm guessing he's going for his drive-through as well as Xavi. So
Xavi, has he got a drive? Oh, I didn't see Nasty Xavi get one as well. So they've both got a drive-through.
Yeah. So, although it might be good for them to get in some clean air, hopefully. Although I say that, although Shaggy's just gone past them, so clean-ish air.
Yeah. Apex has just got Goomba as well before turn 1, which also promotes more G up to P4. So the top 4 set all within DRS range of each other, and it's Bish, Pos, Freeman, and More G. So only Freeman from your original top 3 is actually still in that lead battle, which is just completely swapped around from what was a crazy VSC restart. As Mark says, "Go Pos, my son." So a Pos fan in the chat there. He's currently P2, won in China, of course, and he's in a cracking position again now. As Racing J is side by side with Skin Shaggy, looking to get this move done as quickly as possible. DRS wide open, into the chicane he goes, and the Ferrari man has got past last week's podium sitter early on lap 5. To go back up to the front. Oh no, Skin Shaggy's still on the back of him here. Is he going to go for another run into turn 10? Just going to sit in behind him, I think. If Skin Shaggy has a little look. Not going to be close enough though. If he can stay in his DRS though, he'll hope that Racing J can pull him back towards the group. That will be the plan, of course, for Skin Shaggy now. He's 6/10 behind. We're going to go back up to the front because Freeman is hunting down his teammate. No team orders here in Haas. They are going to battle to the death. It's only pre-season, so it's all anything goes under Gunther Steiner's regime.
It's all to play for.
Exactly. We'll see if that carries on into the season or whether these two will work together. But certainly pre-season, it's bragging rights, isn't it? It's who is going to be the early team leader. Poswin in China, of course. Freeman will be want to put his marker down with a good performance here in France, and he's all over the back of Pos, putting pressure on positively Haas, currently in P3.
This is a battle of who's going to be the number 2 driver this year.
Yeah, he goes for the move. He's pulled out the slipstream, but he's not going to be close enough on this occasion. Moji just trying to stick into that DRS. He needs to make sure he holds onto that DRS, and it looks like he is going to for another lap at least. But Freeman is, he's pushing Pos around. He's going to go for the inside of turn 10, and I think he's got that move done. I think Pos is just going to allow that one to go, and he does.
Yeah.
Doesn't want to lose too much time with Moji waiting on in the background. Further back, Nasty Xavi and Skin Shaggy are close by. We're going to see another move into turn 10. Goes into slipstream. Skin Shaggy goes defensive in the middle of the track. But Nasty Xavi is not going to be close enough. He's pushing him around, though. He's going to go from the inside. It's going to be a lovely move there from Nasty Xavi up the inside of Skin Shaggy.
Beautiful camera angle of that. Oh, that was lovely.
Yeah, really good from Xavi there as he's looking to recover from his drive-through penalty, of course. Top 4 beginning to pull away now from Apex and Goomba, with the help of obviously their DRS train led by Blazing Bishop. But at the front, Freeman G's is actually closing on the back of Bish now. I'm trying to keep my eye on all the battles. Your other battle, of course, is Apex and Goomba. As Oza says, this is some cracking racing. It really is some great overtakes we've seen in this race. Goomba all over the back of Apex. I'll keep my eye on that gap when we come to the next DRS straight, as Xavi sets the fastest lap of the race on lap 7.
Oh, I think Pos is going to be a bit of trouble here. He's not got DRS off of his teammate, so I think that's going to be
a double overtake then.
Yeah, I was going to say that looks like a free move for the Alpha Man. Although
not close enough.
No, it doesn't seem so. No, maybe he's gone for a more.
Bish, though.
Makes you wonder if he's gone for a more downforce kind of setup.
Possibly. He's pulled out of his slipstream, though. Now he's going to go for a move before turn 10. They're side by side into turn 10, and Moji takes P3 away from Pos. Alfa Romeo now have a man back in the top 3, but it's not Nasty Xavi this time. It's Moji who takes P3 away from the Haasman of Posglad 84. But these two have just lost DRS of the front 2. Freeman has put his foot to the floor as he starts trying to edge away from Bish. Further back, Goomba is still trying to put pressure on Apex in that battle for P5. The rest of the field seems to have gapped a bit, but Moji already... I know it's gone back up to 1.2 now. I thought it was coming down. That's a much better exit for Goomba. Oh, it just has to get out of the way there as Apex gets a poor exit on the final corner. Good reactions there from Goomba just to avoid the Mercedes man, and he gets that move done before the braking zone. And the top 2 beginning to pull away now with the help of DRS from Moji and Pos. As Goomba takes P5 for the McLaren. Bish may have just lost DRS here as well. And Moji may be under pressure from Pos, as Pos is going to look to take that P3 back away from the Alpha man. He's about 4 tenths behind going on to the DRS straight. Is he going to be close enough? That is the question. He looks to have quite a bit of overspeed here. He's going to go for the move on the inside of the chicane. And he does go for it, but climbs the curb there. He would have had to back out there.
Oh,
yeah.
A little bit. Little tap, little love tap.
Yeah, I think if he'd have made that move, he probably would have had to give it back, because it was maybe a bit more curb than Pos wanted to take, should we say, into
Very
the
brave.
chicane. Very risky to lose the rear end over that curb if you climb it too much, as many have found out. Liam Ash and Skin Shaggy are side by side.
That's close. That's close.
So what can Liam Ash do now? He's got the slipstream of Skin Shaggy. Skin Shaggy's had a few moments to battle with around turn 10 already. Can he defend from Liam Ash, who I thought was going to stick his nose in there, but just thought better of it? Is he going to send up the inside? He keeps it nice and tight. Skin Shaggy gives him the room, and up the inside goes Liam Ash, but Skin Shaggy holds it around the outside. Brilliant racing from Skin Shaggy. Oh, and Liam Ash almost runs into the back as I say that. But good wheel-to-wheel battling from Skin Shaggy on Liam Ash. On different compound of tyres, of course. Liam Ash will be wanting to get this move done as soon as possible. up at the front. Morgie and Pos have got back within that DRS range of Bish, but Bish has lost it. So he will be in a bit of threat now from G and Pos behind. But we're watching Liam Ash try to get the move done on Skin Shaggy. Pulls out the slipstream. I don't think he's quite close enough on this occasion. He's not. He's got to back out of that one. Pos just went over a mountain and completed the 3 peaks. It was a bit of a climb over that curve, wasn't it? He's had a few hairy moments, as Pos, this week. It's in when I've been commentating on him, but he's come out swinging the other side still, and lives to fight another day after climbing the French Alps here in Paul Ricard. Liam Ash looks a bit closer this time though, behind Skin Shaggy. It's hard tyres versus medium, AlphaTauri versus Aston Martin. Is he going to make a move this time? Looks like Skin Shaggy's got a good high speed setup because Liam Ash cannot get to him by the chicane. So it's might be quite a tricky overtake for Skin Shaggy.
Although Shaggy is probably, if not one of the best defenders you can get in RF1, he will defend a position to the death if he has to. As you can see there, oh Jesus, that's close.
Oh, something's happened. Oh, it's just
Pos is
okay.
Pos has pitted, so Pos has blinked first. So we shall see how this affects the field. Anyone's going to think, oh, see if it can cover that off. Who knows? Pos might end up on top. Who knows? We shall see.
The undercut is good, but it's for me that might be a lap or too early if you're doing the medium hard.
I was going to say, personally, that's probably a bit too early. But I mean, it could get Pos in some clean air. Well, I'm going to say this once and say it again: clean-ish air. As he comes out right by Liam Ash and Shaggy.
No. Oh, he's ahead of it. That's
oh no,
for him.
He's got. Yeah, that'll help him quite nicely actually.
What he needs to be careful is that Liam Ash, if he has DRS and can stay with him, he does not want to lose that position to Liam Ash. That would really affect his attempt to undercut.
Although Liam's on six lap old hards, I mean he might not have got quite the traction out of corners that Pos will.
Yeah, very true. Racing J has just moved up to P6 ahead of Dark Lord and his recovery drive. Nasty Zav is still running in P8. If you're the top 3, because Bish and Maoji have dropped off Freeman now, they're dropping off quite a bit actually, as they've dropped to 1.8 seconds back from Freeman, who's beginning to gap them. If you're sort of Bish and G, do you pit to copy Pos, or would you still stay out for a couple more laps? Oh, someone's just dived into the pits. That is Bish. There's an answer.
I was just going to say that answers your question straight away, doesn't it?
Yeah, so Morgie and Freeman doing what we would have done, which is stay out for a couple more laps. Bish has opted to react to Pos's early stop, so we'll see now. Let's go on board with Pos. See where indeed Bish comes out. Of course, these two have battled a few times in China. Looks like they're going to be battling here in France as well. So we'll see where is Bish. Bish's car is on the move. It's going to be close on the pit exit. I think Pos is going to get this.
Safe. So this is a very.
Oh no, he's not.
No. Although he's gained quite a bit of time now on them, because Bish was what, second, a couple seconds up the road, wasn't he?
Yeah, about a second up. So I noticed that yesterday the undercut going onto the hards isn't massive.
Yeah, yeah, it's not too great, but he's gained some time though, so hats off to him.
So Bish does have a penalty, so that will cost him towards the end. The top 2 at the moment are separated by 2.6 seconds. Freeman looks to still have good pace, whereas G looks to possibly be struggling on those medium tyres a little bit now. Pos and Bish have just jumped off them, and they've swapped positions. Pos has got Bish already, so we said he was close, and Pos has got the move done on Bish.
Absolutely breezed past him.
He really did. So it's an important move for Pos, that, because that's track position, that's 4 position. But can Bish come back at him? It's Bish versus Pos. It's admin versus owner here in I was about to call it Division 2 then, that would be rude. Division Tuesday, Division T. Has Bish got a nosebleed in P2? Had a nosebleed, he's pitted now. To be fair, Bish could have won last week, so he's getting used to these hefty positions.
I was going to say, he's had to get a pack of tissues in the car with him.
Oh, there we have Morgie pitting. So Morgie is pitted on lap 12, which is when I would have pitted.
Goomba takes the lead
as well. Yep, Goomba stays out. So where will Pos and Bish be when they come across the line compared with Freeman? And Mao-G comes up just behind, so he stays where he was effectively. Mao-G stays behind these two. Although I think he was ahead of Poz actually, so Poz has gained 1 position then, or 2 positions, as he's now ahead of Bish. Racing J pits onto the hard tyres, drops down to P11. But these 3 still nose to tail in what is effectively the battle for the net lead of the race. I tell you what, a safety car would help out these medium tyres runners now, wouldn't it?
Oh, they would. It would. Yeah.
Could you imagine?
They would love nothing more at the moment than a safety car.
But the battle for the lead at the moment between Goomba and Apex, they are yet to pit, but they are duking it out for the lead of the race. If you go further down though, Bish all over the back of Poz, almost into the back of him, into the chicane. What can he do? Let's go back onto broadcast mode then, as they come up to the infamous turn 10. Redmond says, God, I missed this. Well, you know, Redmond, Poz would always be happy to have you back as one of the OGs of RRF1. Like we said before, hope everything is good with you and your family, dude. And of course, if you ever do want to come back, get in touch with the likes of Poz. I'm sure he would love to have you back racing. I think only reserve spots are available, but I'm sure if a full-time spot came up, they would get you in, as Noodleneck picks up a time penalty. So Apex didn't get the move done on Goomba to DRS, but can Bish close in on the back of Poz? Liam Ashes managed to hang on to these guys on his older hard tyres. And there we go, around the outside. Lovely move from Bish. That was as close as you get. And Poz just runs a bit wide. That might have been a warning for him. But them two going side by side has allowed Mao-G to get back into DRS range and onto the back of these two. And these 3 now have dropped Liam Ash from DRS. So these 3 are effectively battling for P2 behind Freeman. And if Mao-G can stay within DRS of these guys, he effectively has a podium because Bish has that penalty. Freeman has now got a 1.9 second gap over Bish. Let me have a look further down. Racing J is looking for a move on Happy Hamster. This should be pretty straightforward. Just 2 tenths behind. DRS wide open for the Ferrari man, still on his recovery drive from his drive-through, of course. So he's not out of this yet. A safety car will definitely bring drivers back into it, but a safety car is pretty hard to come by in France, as we've seen already, with 2 big crashes and only 1 VSC. Poz is now on the back of Bish again. Goomba now he's going to get rid of those medium tyres and whack on the hards. We did see a couple of people, probably not the ideal strategy, but drag those mediums out to swap to the softs yesterday. It's probably not the ideal strategy using mediums and softs as a one-stop, but if you can make it work, fair play dragging those tyres that long.
Well, Fatal Defiance, he did what? Was it 20 laps he did on the hard tyres in his first stint?
Yeah. Yeah, that was quite the stint. I think, and we saw, was it Ryan do 16 laps on his mediums?
Yeah, something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, so some great drives all through the field yesterday. It was really impressive. So Poz still on the back of Bish, potentially looking to make this a Haas 1-2 in the second pre-season race here in France. But ZX Apex is leading, yet to pit, of course, has a 9-second lead over Freeman, but of course will drop down to roughly where Racing J is, you'd have thought, once he does come into the pits. So we may even see him in this lap because he'll want to get out ahead of Racing J. If he stays out another lap, he'll probably come out behind Racing J.
Yeah, exactly.
So, crucial for Apex to have a good in-lap on those worn medium tyres. Rest of the field fairly spread out, but these 3 have been nose to tail for most of the race, and they are still nose to tail in what looks to be a good battle for the season between Bish, Poz and G already, and I'm looking forward to this, as Apex has got a 5-second penalty.
Ooh.
Well, there goes that. That is going to cost him big time because he won't pit again, so he won't
help his cause.
Let's see where Apex comes out then. So we're looking at Goomba, who is battling with. Goomba coming around the final corner now. Has a 1.3 second gap to Racing J. I think Goomba will clear him pretty comfortably by the looks of it. Let's have a look now. Oh, it's got to be close though with Racing J. They're side by side. Racing J just gets ahead of Apex. and Apex has to concede that position to the Ferrari man.
It seems that Goomba actually made quite a bit of time on Apex.
Really did.
And
Big
just
undercut
a little bit earlier.
Puts Goomba into P6, then Liam Ash. You'd think we'll have to pit again off those hard tyres. That potentially puts Goomba into P5. I can't see Liam Ash taking those tyres to the end, but stranger things have happened, of course, than just taking tyres longer than expected. See how many, 12, 13 laps. So that would be 24 laps on the hards if Liam Ash does that entire stint, which, I mean, that would guarantee driver of the day if he does that.
I was going to say, I mean, it probably would be doable, but I mean, wouldn't recommend it personally. But
I mean, he might be a sitting duck by the
race.
End. Unless he boxes for softs in a few laps.
Have a look at the positions gained so far. Got Freeman up 1, Bish up 2, Poz up 2, Morgie up 4, Liam Ash up 2, Goomba up 5.
Ooh, Poz almost having a look on the inside there of Bish, sorry, just to cut in. Poz is going to look for a move on Bish into turn 1. I think he might just hold back for the second DRS straight. Sorry, carry on.
I'm on board with Poz as well at the same time, so trying to multitask here is not gonna go well. Racing J down 4 positions, but that's only because of the drive-through penalty he had from speeding on the VSC. So never know, he could recover up to possibly 4th place, depending on how Liam Ash's tyres go. Got Apex up 4 positions, Xavi down 8 positions, same again as Racing J, speeding on VSC. It's just a recovery drive at this rate. Dark Lord up 6 places, so he's having a good race. Noodle Neck down 1 position, had a little moment after the VSC. Actually, he had a little moment, spun. Hang on, Racing J has just got past Goomba. Fairly simple move. Happy Hamster down 3, he had a little bit of issues at the beginning of the race. Shaggy up 2, he's had a nice quiet little race, doing his own thing. Same again with Lennon, up 3 places, having his own little race, and then Hilly, unfortunately, unable to start the race due to connectivity issues. And then we've lost the rest are in Austin. Yeah.
Some interesting drives and strategies so far, some great performances. Poz keeps getting that good exit onto the final corner, but can't quite get close enough into turn 1. But here he comes again. It's Poz versus Bish, round 756 here in France, and Poz still not close enough into turn 1. Morgie just hanging back, waiting to see what these two do. See if anything happens, just keeping it nice and clean. Same as what Poz is doing, because they both know that Bish has a penalty, so they don't need to risk a move at the moment on Bish. But Poz, you feel, will need to get this move done quickly, just to get rid of that pressure from G behind. But he just can't seem to get close enough around this long right-hander onto the straight, and he just loses time to Bish every time, which is costing him.
Yeah, it seems as though they're both trying to save up ERS, perhaps for a move later on in the race.
Yeah, I've just looked at G's ERS. I don't think he's used it all race.
90%. That is amazing.
He's just done a nice drive. Really. He's waiting for the end.
Freeman, 3-second penalty.
Oh, that could cost Freeman. He's 3 seconds ahead of Bish at the moment. Could we really see Poz win again? Could this really? Are we in an alternate reality?
I was gonna say, I don't know. I don't like this. I don't like this reality.
What is happening to RRF1 when Poz is in a position to win 2 in a row? No offense, Poz.
We love you, really, Poz. Honestly.
There's movement. Even Moomin in the chat. Poz on podium again? Question mark. Yeah. Despite Poz having played this game for years, there's still surprise in the chat when Poz is anywhere near a podium. Poz up there? Could this be? He drove a great race last week, and he's keeping himself out of trouble. And I think that's what you've got to do, because all the leagues are very even this season. You've just got to keep yourself out of trouble. Let me go back on board with Poz, actually, because he gets really close to the back of Bish again, and Morgie once again just hanging there, waiting to see what happens with these two, because Bish is beginning to pull these two towards Freeman. It's down to 2.6 at the front now from 3 seconds. So at the moment, Poz is very close to that potential net lead. And we may be talking to him again.
was going to mention, I don't know if Freeman had an issue last lap because he seemed to have lost quite a bit of time to Bishop because I don't know if he's having issues with overheating tyres maybe because this track is very well known for its overheating issues. I mean, you experienced it last night with overheating tyres.
Ooh, yellow flag, what's happened?
Ooh.
There's a car going slowly in front of an Aston, I think it's Noodle Neck. I don't want to get off this Pos-Bish battle, but something's happened to Noodle Neck.
He doesn't have any wing damage, so...
I just had a bit of a moment or something. Oh, he's just come out of the pits. He might have just come out of the pits slowly. Pos still can't get past Bish, so Bish potentially running a lower downforce setup. That and the dirty egg off the back of Bish doesn't seem to be helping Pos around that long right-hander, which then goes into the long left-hander, where he needs to be closer to Bish, and he just seems to be struggling behind Bish in that first sector, which then of course means he's not close enough for the DRS. And Hambo said that ginger fuck surely can't get on a podium again. The movement's foot must be a lobby glitch. Yeah, but Pos is really close this time. There's an Alpine there that's just getting in the way of G, and that has really messed G up. What is going on with the Alpine? Who is that in the Alpine?
It's Hilly. It's Hilly's AI.
Oh, the AI. Oh, the AI has cost more G the DRS. And it's not Hilly's fault, of course. But
no, he's not. He's not in the car, so
it would infuriate the Alpha man, of course, because he was in that battle for the. Ooh, Moji nearly loses it. Oh.
What's happened now? I missed that.
Moji just losing the rear end, and that is the AI of Hilly re-overtaking Moji down the back straight. And Moji gets back past the lapped car of Hilly.
Kind of good. Bullies past it, really.
Yeah, it's just come apart for Moji a little bit here. Just needs to get his head back in the game because that AI has cost Moji really a chance to go for at least P2, potentially even the win here because he was penalty free. Let's get back on with the lead battle, or the battle for second, because Freeman, as you mentioned, he might have just had a bad lap because he's recomposed himself, and that gap is back up to about 3 seconds to Bish. Pos at the moment is still at 0.4 of a second behind Bish as this battle for P2 rages on, and Hambo says Pos paid Hilly's AI. Well, that's one way to get rid of G, isn't it? Is to pay someone to block him. Yeah, it's unfortunate. It happens in racing. You know, if someone can't race, then and the AI is still in it. It happened to me in another league where an AI completely ruined my race at Portimao when I was lapping them. As Bish picks up another penalty. Well, that changes everything. If Moji can get his head back down again, catch back up to Liam Ash in the DRS, then a podium is still on here for Moji. Pos at the moment 0.6 of a second behind Bish, and if these two start fighting each other, then the look of the podium can change. Let me move back to Nasty Xavi because he is now on the back of Apex as the Alpine of ALC Hilly just gets well out of the way. AI obviously feeling bad for blocking other cars, now stops blocking cars as Xavi gets that move done into P8. So the two cars that got drive-throughs have now recovered to P6 and P8 respectively. Liam Ash still going on 16 lap old tyres. So impressive stuff here from Liam Ash, but he now has more G on the back of him, currently running in P5. Apex is, I don't think he's going to be able to catch back up to Xavi if Xavi has the pace on him. So we will go back up to the battle for P3, and then we'll go down to the battle for P4 because more G is going to want to get that move done on Liam Ash quickly before Racing J gets to him. That's going to be crucial for more G's race, you feel.
Yeah, I mean,
picks a penalty. Sorry, go on.
There's nothing more irritating than seeing on your screen you've got a 3 second time penalty because it really does it really puts you off. You're just like, you're angry, you're annoyed, and then you kind of lose momentum. You're like, oh god, I messed up, and then you kind of start messing up your corners, getting all sorts of terrible lines. It's so infuriating, but at the end of the day, you just got to get your head down, keep going.
Yeah, definitely. Posglad now at the corner where he was struggling to stay close to Bish. He's a little bit closer this time as Apex picks up a 3 second time penalty. Is this going to be Pos's moment to pounce? He's a lot closer than he's been in previous laps. He's going to pull out the slipstream. No, he stays behind it. Oh no, is he going to go for it? He does go for it.
Nice!
And it's the second time Bish has had contact with someone in that corner. As Poz is now going to have to avoid the cars coming round. And Racing J has got past More G as well, so I didn't see that. As Racing J and Poz go side by side. And it's the second time we've seen Bish and someone have contact at that chicane. So it's another one.
Oh, he's got it again.
What's happened to Poz?
Him and Racing J had a bit of contact going into turn 10. Poz must be absolutely... He must be absolutely furious under that crash helmet of Poz.
Yep.
I'm probably not going to replicate what he's saying at the moment, because you'll probably end up getting your channel banned, but... But yes, I don't think Poz is very happy, so yeah.
Yeah, Morgy has picked up a penalty as well while he was battling with Racing J and Liam Ash. So I wonder if Poz is into the pit, so potentially a new front wing. I would imagine if he's tapped the wall.
New front wing, set of softs, and then go to the end. I'd say for Poz.
So all of the top 5 have penalties. Goomba doesn't have a penalty, so Goomba could still come away from this with a pretty handy result.
Very late safety car, Goomba could win.
Yeah, definitely. Poz has gone to the soft tyres. He comes out in P9. Although I think Dark Lord might pass him, so it'll be P10, sorry. We're watching Racing J, though. Moji is P5, still within that second range of the two in front, but Racing J is going to get the move done on Liam Ash. And then it'll be Moji's turn to see if he can catch up to the back of the AlphaTauri. He's doing a good job on those 18-lap-old hard tyres. Still 5.5 laps to go. Nasty Xavi has just got past Goomba. Yeah, they will be so India has come into the chat. Come on, Freeman, do me proud. So Freeman at the moment winning this race, has a penalty, but has the gap over Bish at the moment of 4.2 seconds and is just edging that out gap more and more. Racing J on a great recovery drive, of course, had that drive-through earlier on and is now catching up to the back of Bish. More G at the moment, he had that moment with the AI car that was a lap down and then had a poor exit just before the DRS straight, which put paid to his chances of a potential P2 finish, and then has since been passed by Racing J. Nasty Xavi is trying to catch up to the back of Morji and Liam Ash, so we will see very soon in the next 4 or 5 laps whether Morji can get that move done on Liam Ash and claim a P4 finish, or whether Nasty Xavi can climb up to the back of them. One thing that is to note is Goomba's lack of penalties. He is being pulled along by Nasty Xavi, and if he can get pulled along towards the back of the pack, could find himself not far off a podium position, which would be something Goomba may not have been looking at earlier on in the race from the position he was in.
Seen stranger things.
Morji having the same issue that Poz had around that first sector in the dirty air, just not able to get close enough to Liam Ash for the DRS straight, but you've got to think that those tyres from Liam Ash have got to be, as you said, they've got to be screaming now, so surely it's only a matter of time before G gets that move done, because Xavi is closing up quickly to the back of these two now, and you feel that G is beginning to get held up. As Hambo in the chat, but Bish can't handle the pressure of the Ed Sheeran Haas rocket. That is something else to look at. There may be, like I said, we've seen 2 incidents so far with Bish in that chicane. I'm not a steward for this division, so I will not comment, but as we mentioned at the start, penalties will be applied pre-season, so we'll see if people have got clips to put in. Poz and Bish are very good friends, so whether Poz puts in a clip or not is in pre-season is up to Poz. You can't imagine him being very happy about that lap in general, as he had contact with both Bish and Racing J within 2 corners of each other.
Wonder if Poz will go for the fastest lap of the race for that extra non-existent point.
Potentially, fast lap at the moment is a 33 dead, as Liam Ash picks up a 3-second time penalty.
Oh dear.
So that will that'll help Moji's hopefully pick up his mood a bit after the... you feel that Moji lost his way a little bit with that incident with Khalil's AI, but he looks like he's back on it a bit. Pozglad is about to take the Dark Lord before turn 1, so Poz moves up into P9 and gets that move done, and that puts him into P9. And did he set the fastest lap then?
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, he did. He set the fastest lap as well as that.
So had that have been in league racing, of course, that would mean the extra point going towards Pos as well. So damage limitation is more G now, very close to the back of Liam Ash, but still has his teammate closing in behind. So he's going to need to get this move done quickly. He's all over the back of Liam Ash. Will he look to do it here into turn 11? He's going to go for the inside
Liam Ash goes a bit
line.
wide. Ooh, he thinks better of that.
Yeah.
I don't blame him for that.
Smart driving, and then Liam Ash just runs wide. I think he's really struggling on those tyres now. He can't get the car stopped. You can see the braking difference between the two cars. G right on the back of him every time, and then that's costing him on the exit because he's having to brake even harder due to Liam Ash's poor tyres as Happy Hamster picks up a penalty, and this could be more G's best opportunity. He's 4/10 behind. Will he do it now, or will he wait for the next DRS zone? Closing all the time as we get close to turn 1. I think he'll wait this one out for the next corner. Smart driving so far from the Alpha Man, but they are both getting held up quite a lot, and Nasty Xavi is now within DRS range, so Margie needs to get this move done now. We have a yellow flag somewhere. I think it's Hilly's AI for that. So, and there we have it, all three cars now nose to tail. Runs a little bit wide in the dirty air there, does Xavi. Morgi now, he's a lot closer this time than he's been on previous laps. Could we see both Alphas get Liam Ash in the same corner? Morgi's going to go for the outside line and gets the move done before the braking zone. And into P4 for Morgi. Does Nasty Xavi follow him through? He's going to try and force his way up the inside. He's all over the back. Liam Ash covers him off. Is he going to look into turn 10? We've seen him pull a few drivers pull some moves into turn 10 already. Liam Ash goes defensive. That will affect his exit a little bit. And he's all over the back of him, pushing him round turn 11. And forces his car up the inside. This time he does do it. Nice move there.
That's close.
Oh, they're still side by side.
Done. Yeah, they're still there. Oh, that was close.
Yeah, that's important for Nasty Xavi because he didn't want to get stuck behind and allow G to scamper off. Because G already gapped the two of them by sort of 7/8 tenths, but now Xavi is going to have DRS on his teammate. Racing J, meanwhile, is about to make the move up the inside of Bish into turn 1 and gets the move done. Bish will be not too bothered about that because it means he'll get DRS at the next section if he can stay within sort of 4 or 5 tenths of Racing J when they get to it. Nasty Xavi, meanwhile, is pushing hard to try and get past his teammate. As we mentioned, there'll be no team orders, surely, in pre-season, as it's all about bragging rights between G and Xavi in the first race they've raced together. Of course, Xavi did race last time. A little bit wide there from G. That's a shame. But he's going to put Xavi on the back of him. Xavi runs a bit wide this time, but he's all over the back. This should be pretty straightforward. G does go defensive just to show that they will battle it out to the end, and then G will probably just pull in behind his teammate and does so. Up front, Bish was able to stay in DRS, but not close enough. 9 tenths back from Racing J. We're about to start the penultimate lap of the race. Freeman G's has a 4.6 second lead over Racing J. I don't know what the penalty situations are. We'll find out at the end of the race. But at the moment appears to have that gap. As Hambo says, but Pos will give his boyfriend a penalty. Well, if you want, I assume you mean Bish. Yeah, if Pos wants to send a clip in on Bish.
It's not Valentine's Day anymore,
yeah.
So he's more than free to.
Exactly, it's all down to whoever the Tuesday stewards are, of course. Like I said, I've only seen 2 incidents from memory in the race that would be steward-worthy, and that's whether or not the car attacking left their nose in, or whether the car defending turned in. That's always the question that stewards usually have to answer. Morgi was able to stay in DRS of Nasty Xavi, so can he get that move done back? Once we get past this DRS zone, we'll have a look and we'll go back on with the leader because he has started the final lap here in France. Hambo's put, guess I'll have great makeup sex. Well, there's a sight that's never going to leave my head now. Cheers, Hambo.
Yes, that's scarring. That is.
Yeah. So Morgi loses DRS. I think that might be it for battles for the last lap. Let me go back on board with Freeman then. So he is our race leader at the moment. The gap is coming down between him and Racing J. It's 3.7 seconds. Like I said, we don't know the exact penalty situation, but it continues to come down. 3.6 seconds now between himself and Racing J. What a drive this would be if Racing J can pull off a victory after getting a drive through. That would be some drive.
It's been a great comeback as it is, really.
Really has.
Whether it's a win or not, yeah.
3.4 seconds.
What I want to know.
Sorry,
What I'd like to know is how many places Goomba could possibly make up, because he's one of 3 drivers that hasn't got a penalty this race. So
well, exactly. We're about to find out as Freeman G's comes around the final corner in the Haas to make it 2 wins from 2 for the Haas team, but it's not Pos that will step on the top step this time. It is Freeman G's who wins here in France. Racing J17 comes across the line and has extra penalties to finish second. Bish comes home in P3. Nasty Zavi comes home in P4. Morgi comes home in P5. Liam Ash comes home in... No, Goomba jumps in to get P6 ahead of Liam Ash. So Goomba only jumps one person. Apex comes home in P8. Pos, who had the incident with Bish and then the incident with Racing J, will come home, at least initially, in P9. Probably not his happiest of races, considering how well it was going before then. Apex, so he jumps Apex as well, so Apex down to P9. Dark Lord is going to come home in P10. Yes, he is. P11 then for Happy Hamster, who's just ahead of Noodle Neck, so depending on penalties, who's going to get what? It is Hamster and Noodle Neck in that order. Skin Shaggy, heroics in China. It's not gone to plan for him here in France. He's going to come home in P13. And then Lennon, as we mentioned at the start, getting used to wheel. Did his first race on wheel last time out. He'll constantly improve. He'll constantly get better. I know he's trying a few different setups. It's all about finding the one that works for you. As Pos, Pos, are you blaming yourself for the incidents? You had a lap to forget, really, with Bish and Racing J. Yeah, it's a shame. You were having a good drive, and there we have it as the final man crosses the line. We'll do a quick rundown of the race. So Mr. Zero, if you want to invite the top 3 into the party, we'll have a little chat with our podium men. 22 viewers still watching on as we get to the end of the final pre-season race for the Tuesday division. Tomorrow, of course, we'll see the Wednesday division take on France, and then on Saturday you have the performance race where they do 100% the nut jobs, and they'll do France as well. And then next week, Monday, the start of season 7 for RRF1. And it will be Bahrain, of course. So Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, 9 o'clock starts for the Monday division, the Tuesday division and the Wednesday division. We have both the Monday champion and the Wednesday champion competing against each other in the sweaty Monday division. I don't think either of us are going to come out on top, with the likes of Zero, Adam and Maka in that division. But we'll do a quick rundown then. So Freeman G's is your winner tonight in the Haas. So 2 Haas victories in a row, 1 for Pos, 1 for Freeman. Racing J will come home in P2 and Bishop is P3. Nasty Javi gets P4 ahead of Morgi. Goomba in P6 ahead of Liam Ash. Pos ends up down in P8. Apex in P9 ahead of Dark Lord. Happy Hamster, Noodle Neck, Skin Shaggy, Lennon, and then ARC Hilly's AI ended up a lap down, causing a bit of havoc, it might be said, in P15. And then the DNFs saw DeResta and Austin with some quite spectacular crash, but still no safety car in France, as is to be expected now. As Pos in the chat says, totally had a Haas 1-2 in the bag and sent a move on Bish. So Pos blaming himself for the incident with Bish. I didn't quite see what happened between him and Racing J. I just saw Pos grinding the wall, which he's done a few times recently. So let's get on with the podiums. If we got everyone in, we've got...
I'm just trying to add people and trying to invite them as fast as I can.
I'm going to spam them with invites as well. View gamer card, invite to party. And Freeman. Oh crap, I just muted everybody. Invite to party. There we go. Okay, so if you want to start off the podium interviews with P3, I'll let you speak to Bishmeister.
Right, Bish, how was that race for you, my friend? How was that?
I feel like death. Overall, it was alright, to be fair. I didn't expect to get like podium. I knew I had the pace, but well, fair play to like Freeman and Racing. Fucking hell, Freeman was rapid. I couldn't catch him. I thought I settled for P2, P3, so I thought, yeah. There's only got to be pause. That's what matters. Fuck you, pause. That's what I want to say.
Okay, well, absolutely no, definitely a love-hate relationship between you two. So, what was going through your head when you found out that Racing J and who else was it? They've got a drive-through under the VSC. Who was it? Trying to remember names now. I'm terrible with names.
Formerly
Racing J and,
Saka,
Lewis.
Foden, whatever it's called
Yeah.
now, Nasty, Neres.
Xavi, that's it. Yeah, that one.
To be fair,
How
I
did you-
thought it was
yeah.
like it's pretty ballsy. To be fair, with the drive-through, it was like Lewis was saying, like Nasty was saying in the party. He was like, he was under the doubter, so well, probably the game glitch there, but buzzing to be leading, and like I thought, oh, just keep my head down, and yeah. As I say, this Tuesday's league is looking fucking amazing. Like, it's like over the season, anyone can win a race. Like, anyone can win it at all in this Tuesday division. It's looking fucking amazing. And fair play with Freeman. I think it's his first win as well, so fair play.
Exactly. And how are you feeling coming up to the first race of the season, kicking off at Bahrain next week?
I do like Bahrain, to be honest. Right, the next couple of tracks are likely like Bahrain, China last week when I bagged in my first pole in like 10 years of racing. So things are looking good, and as long as I don't get killed. So yeah, other than that, looking forward to it.
Good stuff. Well done, Bish, for P3 tonight. Good job,
cheers.
mate.
Okay, so moving on
Racing-
to
There
P2,
you
we've
go.
got Racing J17, who, looking at the pace you had today, that could have been a victory, but if it wasn't for the drive-through, great recovery drive. How was that race from your perspective?
Apart from the drive-through penalty, to be honest, very, very promising drive. I was very happy moving up the field quite comfortably. DRS is a massive assistance on this track. Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame he didn't get the win, but great job from Freeman. He'd done a great job. So I can only congratulate him. But yeah, just sort of got to move on to the next one, take it on the chin. I think second is a very good result from the race. And yeah, just need to move on to the next one.
Yeah, definitely. And as Bish said, it's really a league where or a division where anyone can win a race. The gaps are quite small, and it's going to be quite strategy and penalties are going to be crucial. What's your thoughts going on to Bahrain and for the new season?
I couldn't have said it better myself. I think the league has got a really, really good set of drivers, all very, very close within each other. So I think it is just going to vary from track to track, sort of who's got the pace, strategy as well. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Well, GG's on the podium, and I'll let Zero go on to our first-time winner, Freeman.
Freeman, how was that race for you? First win of the pre-season. You never know, you might be back again come the full season. How did you find that race?
Yeah, hopefully we're back here in the proper season. But yeah, it's second win on track, but only first technical win it should be, unless anything major goes wrong. Yeah, no, it was good. I just yeah, the first stint was fine, got a good start, and then off of the second stint, I saw Hoz actually pit a lap early when he nearly undercut us all. It was quite close coming out the pit lane, but after that, just tried to maintain the pace, tried to build that second gap for DRS, and yeah, just saw it out from there. Wasn't much to it today.
Yeah, I was gonna say, towards near the end of the race, you're kind of just in your own kind of world, you know, just chilling and, you know, making sure, you know, you won't get any unnecessary penalties, etc. But yeah, no, it was a very nice, calm, relaxed drive from you tonight. And how are you feeling coming Bahrain next week?
Yeah, again, like what's been said already, especially the boys here tonight, very, very fast. So, yeah, it'll be an interesting season. It'll be very close. Just see how things go.
Yeah, exactly. Well, nice one tonight, Freeman. Well done on your win. Well done to all of you, in fact. A very, very entertaining race to watch back. Yeah, well done to you all, and I'm going to hand it back to Massey to sign us off so I don't butcher anything else tonight.
It's been it's great on Cocom. It's been great to have another fast alien who's not only faster than me on track, but faster than me at keeping up with the hot lap on track. So great job on Cocoms again for Zero. It's been a great race to watch, of course. Next time we are back on a Tuesday will be for the official start of the new season for RRF1 at Bahrain. But before that, we have tomorrow the Stars of Division 3 taking on the French Grand Prix. Congratulations to all the podium guys, and commiserations to those that didn't have the best of luck tonight. Hopefully for Bahrain it goes more in your favour. We are going to raid somebody now, now that I've been told how to do it properly, called El Taco Man Gaming. He's extremely entertaining, races on Formula 1 a lot, so send him a lot of love. Just make sure it's /raid space name, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You got it right there.
We're going to go and raid him. Join in, show the love. Like I said, very entertaining guy. I do like watching his streams.
Yeah, post us by #RRF1 raid.
So yeah, we are back Saturday. We have, of course, the performance race. Oh, tap to raid now. I need to tap it, don't I? Okay, so thank you all for watching. I'm going to tap this, see if this works. Am I raiding?
Oh. No, you are.
I think I'm raiding.
You are, Steve.
I put /raid. He's brilliant, this Taco Man. He's absolutely brilliant. If you've ever watched him, he's so entertaining.
Yeah, looks like you got it.
Yeah, it works. Yeah, it's only the second time I've ever done a raid, and last time I did the same thing where I was like, why is it not raiding? And I was like, oh, tap here to raid. Okay. That was the lap from hell from you.
Not cost.
Oh, pause.
You know what? Like I said in the stream, this season in Tuesday Division is going to be fucking close. Anyone can win
I
it.
was going to come in. Hey, you dirty bastard, I just found it off the side.
Yeah, that's it. You help me out. Yeah, honestly, if it's
I'm raiding.
Yep. We're still
Oh,
going.
I don't know how to do this raid thing.
At least you didn't do on me and